Welcome back to the True Ball Pythons YouTube channel. I'm Terry, and today we're going to go over clutches 6, 7, and 8. We're going to show you the animals, and then we're also going to talk about what happened, because we did have a little, a big mishap. So let's go ahead, and we're going to start with the first clutch. So give me a second, let me pull out the babies. Okay, the first one we have here, just to let you guys know, all of these guys are in shed, so they have not shed out yet. Right here, this clutch, we have was a banana to banana pairing, so it was a banana pastel, what we thought was an inchy, which is working out to be either fire or vanilla. We still haven't proved out which one it is yet. Visual clown. And we paired him to a banana female. So this first one we have here, this is obviously banana, pastel, and fire or vanilla. So just to talk about what happened with this clutch, with all of these clutches. Unfortunately, these are my three most anticipated clutches of the season, and we received, basically they were all laid within 2 days from the oldest one to the newest one was in 2 days. And we had an issue apparently with our incubator. We've been using incubator now. This is the 4th season, and we've never had any issues with it. Apparently the thermostat started, I'm not sure what happened, but basically it overheated the incubator basically 10 degrees for a 7-hour period. I caught it, looking back through my logs, I caught it twice. So we're changing a few things. We're changing the thermostat that we use. We're also changing we use Govee to monitor just the temperatures and humidity inside the incubator. And so we're gonna switch that out as well, because we received just horrible issues with all three of these clutches. So this initially was a 7-egg clutch. Unfortunately, we have 3 babies remaining out of this clutch. So some of them died in the egg, others came out just disformed. And so only 3 surviving babies out of this clutch. And we basically had the same issue with all 3 clutches. I hatched clutches prior to this, no issues at all. And we've hatched 2 clutches after this, no issues. It's just with these 3 clutches, and because it's 3 clutches, I actually saw that the incubator in the middle of the night went up 10 degrees and stayed 10 degrees high for 7 hours. So, I know it was an incubator issue, and it was just during the time that they were in there that they were developing that it actually caused issues with them. So here's the first one. This is a banana, pastel, fire or vanilla. Also, if I popped all of these correctly, all 3 of these are females. They're all 100% het clown, so if indeed they really are females, they're going to be holdbacks. I'm basically going to hold back all of them. So let's go ahead and let's move on to the next one in this clutch. The second one in this clutch, once again, in shed again. They're wet because they're still on the damp paper towel. And this little girl here, once again, is a banana fire or vanilla, 100% het clown. Beautiful girl. I love her. The dorsal stripe. She has a dorsal stripe pretty much from the front to the back. It's broken a few times, but just an absolutely stunning snake. And the third one here, we actually hit the super banana. So this one is Super Banana. pastel fire or vanilla, 100% het clown. And she pretty much has a full dorsal stripe. It's only broken right here, I believe. Yep, I think it's the only point where it breaks is right here. So this is what we were actually going for, was a super banana female. Our male is a male maker. So if these three are actually females, that's just great odds on these three. So I'll wait for them to shed out. I'll give them a few meals, and then I'll pop them again and see if they're still popping as females. So let's hope that they do. Let's move on to the next clutch. Okay, guys, here we have the pastel het clown female, and she was paired to the same male. The previous clutch, the banana pastel. Banana pastel fire or vanilla clown. And so this girl here, it was 7 eggs in that clutch, and this girl is the only survivor, unfortunately. And even with her, I'll put a picture in when she was born, or she came out of the egg. Her belly was just swollen in the middle, and I wasn't. It's still not 100% gone down, but it looks much better than it did, 3-4 days ago. So I'll show you guys how it looked. And normally when they have the little scar where the umbilical cord is, it's normally just, it's peeling off. So normally it's just a little scar, and after they shed for the first time, it's barely noticeable. With this one, she came out, the belly was probably 3 times the size it should have been, and it didn't look good. So I just put her on a wet napkin by herself, and the next day I noticed it went down probably by a third. The following day it went down another third, and then now it's still a little swollen right now, but it's barely noticeable compared to what it was before. She is really, honestly, because I wasn't sure how I was going to go with her. I really didn't really look at her. I think she's either she's a super pastel or a super pastel fire or vanilla clown, and absolutely just a beautiful snake. And hopefully she pulls through. If she pulls through, I'm gonna keep her, just because of everything she went through. But as of right now, she's the only survivor out of a 7-egg clutch, but she's a beauty. And that clutch was a hard one to swallow. So it was 7 eggs, and out of the 7 eggs, it was a visual to a het, and out of the 7 eggs, it was 6 clowns, 6 multi-gene clowns. And it was also supposed to be the clutch where I would be able to figure out what extra gene, because I was putting it back to the mom, was in the snake. If it's fire, then you're going to get the super fires, which are white snakes. And if it was vanilla, then you get a super vanilla, and it looks completely different. Because so many of the eggs, basically 4 of the 7 eggs, 4 of the 7 eggs died within a week of us cutting it, because they were just starting to go bad when I cut it. And then, so you really couldn't tell what the animals were. You were able to see the pattern and see that they were clowns. None of them were white, but I just don't know. So I wasn't able to answer that question. But I'm happy this little one's still here, and hopefully here she pulls through. So we'll go on to the last clutch. Okay, guys, here's the third and final clutch we're going to go over today. This was a fire scaleless head male paired to a fire scaleless head female. We were looking for the complete scaleless, and 5 eggs were laid, and we do have 5 animals in this clutch. So let's go ahead. We're going to start with this little guy here. This is just a single gene fire. So he's not a scaleless head. Obviously, he's not scaleless, just a fire. Okay, so we'll go on to the next animal. So the next animal in the clutch, I haven't sexed these, so I'm not sure of the sex. So the next animal is this beautiful super fire. So this girl I'm saying girl, but I have no idea what she is. This one here is not, it's also not scaleless head, just a regular super fire, and just absolutely beautiful. I actually don't have any super fires in the collection, so I actually like this animal a lot. Not going to keep her, but I do like it. I love it's just the pure white snake. So let's move on to the third animal in the collection. We'll go with this one. Oh. Superfire is escaping. Let me put the lid back on this one. So here we have this is a scaleless fire scaleless animal. Just beautiful animal. It's in the process of starting to shed. I can see the skin wrinkling. I can see the eyes are in deep blue. But we did hit scaleless. Let's see. Let me see if this is the one. Nope. So this one's completely fine. No issues with this one. With the scaleless, we're probably going to wind up keeping this one will probably be for sale. I think this is going to be one of the ones that we're going to sell. Let's go ahead. This is a fire, completely scaleless. I love the feel of the scaleless. It feels like a naked snake. And the colors also. The colors are just completely different from what you're used to. So let's move on to the second one. Okay, the second one is the exact same. Is also scaleless. Is also a fire. Only difference in this one is, I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but this one has just a little bit of just the lower jaw is slightly underdeveloped from what it should be. I don't think that's going to stop this animal from eating and thriving. But, you know, due to, once again, the temperatures in the incubator, this is definitely a side effect of that. So, but other than that, this snake is completely beautiful. No kinks or anything in it. Very alert, moves around a lot, and I don't think it's going to have any issues. But I think just because it's not perfect, we're probably going to hold on to it. Just don't want to necessarily sell an animal like that. So this is probably going to be something we're going to raise up just because she or he isn't perfect. And then we have the third one, which we're definitely going to keep. This is just a normal scaleless, and you can see on that side the eye is a little small, and then if you look on the other side, the eye is gone altogether, and just a known issue with your incubator issues. So this little guy or girl will be staying here with us and just raise him or her up. And I basically wanted to get into the scaleless project so that I myself could raise up some of these animals. I love the way they feel, the way they look, and I don't know where the project itself is going, but I knew, and I still know, that I've always wanted one, and I still want them. So I have no issue raising these guys up, and just to see how they eat, how they shed. You always hear people talk about them, and so many people just don't have experience with them. So I think we're going to go the route of keeping them on a damp napkin and a damp paper towel, and then in the high box, a humidity high box, which you normally wouldn't use for a ball python. But for these guys, I think I am. I'm going to use those for these guys. So I look forward to seeing how this one eat with one eye, but they also, well, Skellies don't have heat pits, but from my understanding, they do still have the ability to, even though the heat pits aren't present, to use them to still see infrared and see heat signatures. So I'm curious how this one's going to eat, if it's going to be a good eater or what's going to happen with that. But other than that, this animal is just beautiful animal. It's just a normal scaleless head, but it's precious to me. And I love the fact that, we get to raise up one finally. We've been working this project for 3 years now. So there you go. Get one more look at this beautiful little face. All right, guys, give me a second and then I'll come back and we'll talk about this. Okay, guys, there you have it. We have all 3 clutches out now. We're waiting on all 3 of them to shed. And I'm curious, those of you who watch this that are breeders, do me a favor and down below, what do you use to monitor the temperatures in your incubator? I'm curious of what some other people use because I'm really trying to avoid this ever happening again. And the only thing I know to do is to change out what I believe is the defective part, which is the thermostat itself, and get some completely different just monitors, temperature and humidity monitors than I have now. And to get something that will hopefully connects to the home Wi-Fi that can alert me even if I'm not at home. I was able to go back through the history of the incubator, just the temperatures, and actually see that on 2 separate days. One day the temperature rose about 7 degrees and it was like that for maybe 2 hours. But then another day, and this was overnight, so I know I wasn't downstairs. Like, the incubator's in the basement. It's a 6-foot tall old beverage cooler that we converted to an incubator, so it's completely sealed. And the temperature does drop a little when you open the door, but we also have 6-gallon bottles of water just to help regulate the temperature once the door closes. It keeps the heat better. So only thing I can think of is that the actual thermostat itself went bad, and so we're going to replace that, and we're looking into just some different temperatures to monitor. I'm sorry, different systems to monitor our temperatures in the incubator. We thought the Govee was doing a good job, but the short, I guess the bad part is, for whatever reason, it did not alert me that the temperatures were higher than the actual warnings I have set up in the app. It never alerted me that it was above that. And then the second thing is that when we're away at work or away from the house or on vacation or whatever have you, it doesn't track the temperatures because my phone isn't in the house. So the limits is basically, if your phone's in the house, then it can track and it'll actually show you what your temperatures are. But if you're not at home, then it can't do that. So curious, just what do you guys use? What systems you guys use? And just looking to get something different. But other than that, I'm really happy with the outcome of the actual clutch. Stoked that we hit 3 scaleless babies out of 5 eggs. That's just tremendous odds. Out of 5 eggs, we should have hit 1 1/4. So it was to hit 3. I'm really happy about that. The clown, I think the clown, it's going to be okay. Really happy about that as well. And overall, we're really just happy with the 3 clutches. So the clutches themselves weren't a disappointment. What happened with the clutches afterwards were. But, we're going to move past it. We have more clutches in the incubator. Like I said, we've 2 clutches since these 3. And both of those clutches, no kinks, no issues. So I think it was just the 2 times while these eggs were incubating that the temperatures rose that caused these issues. So hopefully we could avoid that in the future. We put in a lot of work to get the eggs in the incubator, and then to have them go bad, something like that, it sucks, but we'll move forward. But other than that, guys, thank you guys so much for watching the video. And remember to like, share, subscribe, and we will see you guys again next week. Thank you. Have a good one.